Thanks for taking the time.
Great to see you again.
Thank you. So,
RealDVD is this cool new product we just announced today that allows consumers to take DVDs that they own and save them onto their computer, and then you can do a lot of great things with them in terms of being able to take them with you, like you put them on one of these little flash drives. This is a 32 gigabyte flash drive. You can hold 4 movies on this, 4 DVDs in the original quality. So it's obviously great from if you're traveling a lot. If you got kids and the kids like watching the DVDs over and over. They get scratched, they get lost. That way you never lose them, you never scratch them because you're playing with the hard disk copy of them. If you like watching a collection like a TV show that has a series of episodes, you can collect them all in one place. And if like me, I've got like 500 DVDs, and having an easy way to collect and organize them all makes a huge difference in terms of finding what I want and when I want it. So we think RealDVD is just basically it's the best way to play DVDs.
How is it different from other DVD ripper software?
Well, first and foremost, it's legal. There was a court case in the U.S. About 1 year ago for a very high-end product, a piece of hardware that's about a $15,000 product called Kaleidoscape that implemented maintaining the protections in a certain way, and the court ruled that they'd followed the rules and it was a legitimate licensed product. So we basically follow in that same path, as opposed to most of the rippers that are out there that are software. In fact, all the ones we know of that don't actually preserve the protections, so therefore they are against the rules and are basically not legal products. Once you put it on a drive, you can move the drive to up to 5 different computers that are in your house that have the same account on them. But if you take the contents of this disk and you just gave it to somebody who was not who did not have your account, and your credentials, they would not be able to play it. And if you took the contents of this and moved it to a different drive, it would not play. So we encrypt it so that the encryption is tied to the drive as well as to the account. So from a standpoint of protecting the interest of the rights holder, we've done something that we think is very secure, but also from a consumer standpoint, it works in a way that is very transparent. Just like a DVD, DVDs have region codes built into them. So if I buy a disc in France, usually I can't play it in the US, but if I buy a disc in the US, every disc will work in the US. So it'll be kind of the same way. I got into the business for music about 10 years ago with a product called RealJukebox, which was one of the first mainstream ways for consumers to save CDs. And that, of course, led to services like our Rhapsody service and Apple iTunes and many others. So we think this can launch a similar thing with video. There are video download services out there that are kind of developing slowly, but we think that because many consumers have DVDs, in the US, I think the average consumer has over 25 DVDs, we make it easy to add value to those collections right away, so we don't require people to change how they're getting media. We think digital downloading is also important for video, but we think the opportunity to make DVDs even more valuable is a big opportunity that maybe will happen faster. First step is launching it as a piece of PC software, but there's no reason why we couldn't make a version of RealDVD that, for instance, worked with your television directly as opposed to on your PC. Now, of course, you can hook up your PC to the television, and that'll work today, but in terms of having something where you plug this into your TV set-top box or something, that's something that we're looking at, but it's early right now, and so that'll be something for the future.
Windows and Mac?
We're launching it first for Windows, and we'll have Mac also later. The digital music business, we've had a great summer. In the United States, we launched a couple of major initiatives that we call under the umbrella of Music Without Limits. We now have, again, just in the US, but something we're looking at worldwide, we sell music without the DRM, so it's a fully interoperable format. We sell music for all the major labels. So we have that in what we call the Rhapsody MP3 store, where people can get any one of our library of like 4 million songs, and they purchase them and they can be played anywhere that plays MP3s, including, for instance, an iPod. And that's off to a good start. That's ramping up. Second major initiative is a partnership with Verizon, the #1 carrier in the U.S. and basically tied with one other for #1, but they're about to become the biggest because they have an acquisition they're doing. And they have about 80 million subscribers, and they have we've integrated with them Rhapsody directly into the phone handset. So consumers can get a subscription where they pay a flat fee of about $15 a month, about 10 euros a month, and that subscription gives them access to the full library on basically a rental basis on their mobile phone as well as on their PC. Because the mobile phone business is such a big opportunity, but it's also complicated, it took us we announced the deal with Verizon about a year ago, but it took us about 10 months. We're now on about a dozen different Verizon handsets that we've integrated in the Rhapsody service in. So, of course, with mobile phones, there's many different handsets. They have different operating systems, different capabilities. It's just been a matter of working and getting more and more of those to directly support Rhapsody.
Protected music, do you think that this is going away?
For purchasing, yes, because the problem with the music is the CD never was protected 25 years ago. So to offer digital sales, digital music that was worse than what you could do if you rip a CD didn't make any sense. With DVD, DVDs are protected, so we're carrying forward the protection. So for us, it's always been about how to create a best possible consumer experience with a level playing field. And that's what we're doing now in music, now that we've DRM-free, then we're doing that with DVD, now that we've RealDVD. We support MP3 players as well, and in fact, that's with the iPod. We now support the iPod for purchasing music. So these two changes have really broadened out the set of devices, mobile phones, and also even the iPod. Always wanted to do both, but until we could get the music industry to agree to let us sell music that would work everywhere, that wasn't very practical in terms of a mainstream thing. So I would say we still do subscription, we still care about subscription, and purchasing music has gone to about equal importance because they're both very exciting ways for us to give music to consumers and to reach the biggest audience. So we're doing both of them.
Audio and video, where do you see Real, in maybe 12 months or so?
I have two twins, and I love both of them.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Great talking to you as always.